You think of Nazi concentration camps, you usually picture like Auschwitz or Dachau or Bergen-Belsen. But there was one camp that was built specifically for women, and almost no one talks about it.
Katie is talking about Ravensbrück, and you should go watch the whole video. Ravensbrück was a horror show, but unbelievably, it was also the beginning of a love story on Christmas Eve, 1944. Welcome back to Yesterqueers. My name's Amanda, and I'm a public historian of queer history. Nelly Musevos was born in 1906, and by the time the Second World War broke out, she was a professional opera singer, a mother of 2 daughters, and a member of the Belgian resistance. Although she lived in Brussels, she traveled all over Europe to perform, and like Josephine Baker, she used that mobility to aid the resistance. While she was on tour in Paris on April 22, 1943, Nelly was arrested near the Fontaine Molière and deported back to Belgium. She was imprisoned there for a while, then sent to Kreuzberg prison in Berlin, and then transferred to Ravensbrück. Nadine Huang was born in Madrid in 1902, the daughter of a Chinese diplomat and a young Belgian widow. I'll do a whole separate video about her because she was an extraordinary human. By the time she was a teenager, she spoke 5 languages, played almost every sport, and was studying law at an American university through the mail. In the 1920s, she became one of the first female fighter pilots in China, although she never saw combat. In the 1930s, she was a key part of the lesbian demi-monde in Paris, as she was Natalie Clifford Barney's lover and occasional chauffeur. And in the 1940s, Nadine helped people fleeing the Nazis cross the border from France to Spain and most likely spied for the French resistance. We're not exactly sure where or when Nadine got arrested, but she was transferred to Ravensbrück in May of 1944. On Christmas Eve of that year, Nelly was singing Christmas carols to lift everyone's spirits when a voice from the back of the room called, "Sing something from Butterfly." Nelly chose Un bel di vedremo and described the moment in her diary. "Emotion flows over my skin. I feel the warmth of my eyes. Joy overwhelms me, delirious joy. A round of applause, 2 arms grip me, 2 kisses on my cheek. Butterfly stands before me. Her black hair, her ivory skin, her oblique eyes. Nadine." The two had only a few months together before Nelly was transferred to Mauthausen in Austria. Remarkably, not only did both women survive, they managed to reunite in Belgium around 1946. They moved to Caracas, Venezuela in 1950 and lived a quiet life, telling the people outside their circle that they were cousins. Nelly worked for the French embassy and Nadine worked for a bank. They loved to entertain and had a circle of queer friends who they hosted often for dinners and cocktail parties. The couple returned to Brussels in 1969 when Nadine's health took a turn for the worse. Nadine died in 1972 and Nelly eventually followed in 1987. On the day before her own death, Nelly wrote in her diary, "Is it my fault if every move I make, everything I touch evokes your hands, your body? No one to notice my new dress, no one to help zip it up. I wait for you as if you were on a trip." Nelly and Nadine wrote a memoir so they could tell their story to the world, but they couldn't find a publisher. And so their story stayed hidden in a trunk in an attic in the French countryside until Nelly's granddaughter, Sylvie Bianchi, opened that trunk just a few years ago. Sylvie didn't know her grandmother's story. Nobody talked about it after the war, and she grew up thinking that Nadine was just her grandmother's roommate. Sylvie's discoveries are documented in Magnus Gerten's 2022 film Nelly and Nadine, but the memoir hasn't been published yet, and the photos and documents and Super 8 videos that Nelly and Nadine left behind have not been made available to the public. That's it for today. As always, more information, including sources and further reading, is available in the usual place.